It is okay to be sad. I would say that one of the hardest things throughout the fertility journey is to know how to deal with the emotions. All the different emotions that are coming in to your reality when you are going through this very turbulent time of your life. That extreme roller coaster, the days after ovulation until you know whether you are pregnant or not. When your friends are getting pregnant and you go out, I don't know, grocery shopping and you see pregnant women everywhere. You see their little strollers with babies inside. I want you to know that you are not alone. And I want you to know that in this video, you will learn not only how to handle and cope with those emotions, but how healing those emotions can actually help you to get pregnant. Before I dive into that, I would love to share a story with you. A story that happened when I went through my fertility journey. And now when starting to recording this video, I had no idea that I was going to share this story, but it just popped up into my mind. So I think it's really, really important. So back then when I was going through the fertility journey, I was working in a shop that I did not like at all. I just felt like if you read anything or heard anything about my story, my life was absolutely not as I wanted it. And I was working in this clothing shop by the time. And I had a boss, and she knew that my husband and I, or now my ex-husband and I, that we were really trying to have a baby. And she told me at one time, she was like, oh, I really think babies are so cute, but I don't want any babies. I have my 2 little Chihuahua dogs and that's enough for me. Time went on and I quit working in that little shop and I moved to actually H&M, starting to work there. And we were living in a small town, so chances were quite big that you were actually kind of bumping into people sometimes. And there were one specific time when my ex-husband and I, we went into the police office because we were gonna get our passports back because we just ordered new passports. So we went into this little police office, and in the corner of my eye, straight when we enter the police office, I see the boyfriend to my ex-boss, the woman who said that she only wanted the Chihuahua dogs and no children. I see him and I intuitively knew, I was like, okay, I want to run away from here. I don't want to like bump into them and start talking to them, because I kind of understood that if he is here, she's probably here as well. And I just didn't fancy having a conversation. And you know how it goes from when you kind of just have that knowing, but then it's like too late already. There was no way for me to escape, because I now saw that he already had seen me and I was kind of feeling forced. And I think my ex-husband, he also knew them. So it was like, oh, hi, how are you? And then I saw. So the boyfriend was not only together with his girlfriend, which was my ex-boss, but they also had a baby stroller with them. And they were also standing there with her, my ex-boss, mom and dad. So there they were, like all 5 of them, 4 adults and 1 little kid, no dogs. And I remember she asked me, and this is like 7 years ago, but I remember it so clearly. And she asked me, oh, so you're gonna go out and travel? And I was like, what do you mean? What travel? She was like, you are here to get your passports, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, well, I don't know. Because the only thing I could focus on was this panic that was just rushing through my whole body. I don't know if you can relate. If you have ever had this kind of experience, let me know in the comments below. Just felt this massive, massive, massive panic of just powerlessness and having absolutely no idea where to go. The only thing I could thinking of was this little baby that was now in this stroller in front of me. And I had to ask her, I was like, is it your baby? Because these were like maybe 1.5 years after I quit working in that shop, and I had not seen this woman since. I asked her, I said, "Your baby?" And all these 4 adults, including my ex-husband, everybody was listening, and the only thing I could focus on was that little baby. I have no idea what the baby looked like. I can't recall that at all. I just remember this like super, super strong feeling in my body. And she was like, "Yes, it's my baby." And my tears, and I was like, okay, sorry, because the only thing I could focus on was to escape. You know, it is when you're in a situation, the only thing you want to do is just to run. And normally we kind of forces ourselves to stay in the situation, but it was just too painful. I could not stay. So what I did was that I turned around, like I just said, when she answered, "Yes, it's my baby," I just turned around and I started to run to the door, and I hear her screaming behind me. She was like, "Oh, Linda, it's fine. We are going to leave. We're going to leave. You don't have to go." But by the time, the only thing I could just focusing on running. So I just ran out. It was raining outside. I was running out, and I just kept running until I didn't know where else to run. And my ex-husband, he was still there in the police office. They were still there. Everybody was still there. And here I was now in the middle of the city, just like standing in the rain, waiting for him, like my ex-husband, to find me. I don't know. But that panic, that is how strong my emotions were, because I was caught by surprise that she told me 1.5 years ago she didn't want to have children, and now there she is with a newborn baby. And it was just such a shock for me, and it was just this feeling of, you know, this is available to everybody else and apparently not to me. It was horrible, it was heartbreaking. And I don't want anybody to experience that, because it doesn't feel nice. And I am sure that you can relate to this. And this is why I'm so passionate about really spreading the knowledge, what I came to understand after this event. It wasn't long after that until I found the power of our subconscious mind. You have probably seen some of my other videos where I talk about the power of the subconscious mind and how it actually can block our fertility. And that is when I started to understand, okay, my subconscious mind had blocked my ability to get pregnant, because the life I was living, as I told you, I was in a job I absolutely didn't like. I was not having any money on my own, kind of, and it was just like my life was just not how I wanted it to be, if that makes sense. Maybe you can relate. If you can, please let me know. Then I know I'm not alone, or I wasn't alone. And my mind had blocked my fertility because I was not supposed to get pregnant in the life I was living, because I was so unhappy. And all I wanted to create was a happy family. They were not like in alignment at all. You know, when you're trying to push two magnets towards each other, but they're just having the wrong side, so they're facing the same side, and it's just, you just can't, if they're strong enough, you just can't force them together. And that was what happened between me and the fertility back then, because my subconscious mind had turned the fertility off. So what I learned throughout this whole journey, and what I always teach my children, what I always teach my clients is that these emotions are there to tell us something. If I right now could go back and advise that Linda, who was going through that super horrible experience with all those powerless feelings and feeling of panic, I would ask her, how are you really feeling? I would ask that Linda to just sit down a little while and just imagine herself, and this is what I want to encourage you to do as well. Sit down in a quiet place where you feel that you can relax, maybe light some candles, or maybe sit with a notebook, with a journal, and write. Just imagine that you are going back in your imagination, in your mind's eye, to an event in your childhood where you felt this super powerful feeling, powerless feeling, where you felt this powerless feeling, where you felt that you were sad, you were powerless. You can do this. Like, if you just ask your mind for a specific memory back in your childhood, if you're not like too blocked. If you're too blocked, then definitely ask for help to unlock that. But my guess is that you will be able to do this. So just ask your mind to take you back to a memory that was really painful for you, where you felt out of charge, you felt powerless, you felt sad, you felt everybody else could have what wasn't available to you. So these feelings that you're right now feeling regarding looking at other women when they are pregnant, or you're looking at their babies, or even you go by the baby aisles in the grocery shops, like all these different triggers. So ask yourself, what am I feeling when I do have these experiences? Probably powerlessness, probably sadness and all this. And ask yourself, so my mind, take me back to a scene, place, event in my childhood where I did feel this feeling. So when you are going back into that old memory, imagine yourself as the grown-up version of you right now, being the parent to that little child, which is you in the past. Imagine yourself going into that room or wherever she is, and just give her a big hug. Sit down with this little girl, because she needs you as the parent. This is your job, to take care of this little girl. When you can heal this little girl, which is yourself in the past, these are memories that are not healed, and this is why they're being triggered and triggered and triggered. When you can take care of her and start to give her love, ask her. These are the things we do in hypnosis during the sessions as well. It's extremely powerful. When you can ask this little girl, how are you feeling, and what can I do for you to make you feel a little bit better right now? Maybe I can hold your hand like this. Maybe I can hug you. Maybe I can stroke your hair. Whatever it is, ask her, because she can tell you what she needs. So when you can learn to become a mother to that child, you can help her. So take this into your practice every single day, that whenever you feel powerless, whenever you feel triggered by something around you, ask that little girl, always remember her. Ask that little girl, what is making you so sad right now? Because the chances are that the infertility that you are struggling with, it's actually not what is making you feel these things right now. And do not take that out of context, because then it goes wrong. But what I mean is that the infertility that you are experiencing right now is a trigger for these old wounds that are not yet healed within you. And what actually starts to happen when you start to heal these old wounds is that you start to heal. And when you start to heal, what has been keeping you sad and powerless before, all of a sudden you start to turn into this woman who feels more in charge of her own life, who feels more happy, who feels more worthy of beautiful relationships in her life, who have an easier time to say no, who have an easier time to set her own standards. You know, you start to live just by doing that little gesture. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen when you take this seriously and actually start to heal and help that little girl that is you in the past. Bring her into a grown-up life, take care of her, show her love and affection. Take care of her. The more you start to feel better on your inside, the more you raise your standard. This is exactly what happened for me. The more I started to feel better, I realized that the life I was living was definitely not for me. And the more I felt better after that understanding, because it was a freaking scary understanding that I understood I'm in the wrong relationship, even though it was a beautiful relationship, but I wasn't in love. It wasn't that, you know, passionate relationship. It just felt like the relationship was super beautiful, but it had served its purpose. And I realized the jobs that I'm having, the reason I can't make money is all because I've been so out of alignment with who I truly am. And the more I started to get into who I truly was, the better my life became. The more beautiful things I started to attract on my outside. And this is how I turned my whole life around to match the frequency of pregnancy and family life. So what I am all about, yes, I do help women to get pregnant in my fertility hypnosis practice with my fertility alignment method. But what that actually means is that we better look at your life first, so that you can understand what kind of family life is it that you want. Because I don't want you to just get pregnant. I want you to have a happy family. I want you to have that family that resonates with how you want to live your life with your family. If you look around, this is one of the exercises I give to my fertility clients. If you look around at other families, at your friends that are having kids, are they truly happy? Do they have the kind of family life that you want to have? And many times when I ask my clients this, the answer is no, because they see that many of these parents are stressed out. They're yelling at their children because they're just feeling so powerless. And their kids are in daycare all day long because their parents have to work so hard. Is this what you want? What you can do when you start to heal yourself before having your children. That is how you create a brand new future. That is how you create a brand new opportunity for you to create the life that you truly want with your kids. Because I am convinced, there's no single doubt within me, that if you're watching this video right now, you have a desire to be a mother, you have a child waiting for you, at least one. Your family is just waiting for you to get ready, to heal those hard emotions that have been triggered over and over and over and over again. My life, in my personal story, has been so dramatically shifting throughout the last years. So I've literally been afraid of getting pregnant because I feel that the kids are so close to me. I feel their energy. But I've been asking them, please wait a little bit, because I don't feel 100% ready yet. I have other moms that I want to help before, so that we can really put in place what all these women want. So that I can put that into structure, so that I really can make that difference that I want to make in this world. And that is to help you to align with your ideal life as a mother, with the relationship that you truly want to have with your partner, that happy relationship, that passionate relationships, so that you have things to talk about outside, not only talking about the kids, but we want that passion, we want that love affair to go on with your partner throughout the fertility journey, throughout being parents, and then when the kids move out. If you want to have that happy relationship, you got to understand how to create that right now before the kids arrive. And this is why I'm so passionate about teaching what I teach. And this is why I'm so passionate about these hypnosis sessions, about my fertility alignment method, because this is what we help you to create, not only to get pregnant, but also to create that dream life together with your children and your husband. So if this resonates with you, please give the video a thumbs up so I know, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because this is the channel for you if you want to become a mother, live your dream life together with your kids. And it's really dedicated to that. It's dedicated for women who are going through that hard emotional journey that I was on, but that are now feeling ready to transform their lives so that they can change direction into creating a life that they really, really, really want to live. That is why I'm here. That is my passion and calling in life. I didn't know that before I went through my own infertility story and journey. And I'm just so grateful that I did, because that led me to be here speaking with you today, helping you understand right now how you can not only cope, but also heal those hard emotions during the fertility journey, so that you can align with the frequency of your ideal motherhood. I hope that makes sense to you. Listen to it on repeat so that you fully understand what I just said. Because once you understand that, then you will hear a super, super powerful message. Make sure that if you feel that you're ready, make sure that you do book a free call with me. My sessions are fully booked for the upcoming 3 months, or maybe it is even 4 months, but I always try to make sure that I have at least some small spots for the free calls, the mini chats, so that you can actually book yourself one of those free mini calls, so that we can understand what is your story, what has been holding you back, and how you can align with your ideal life of how you want your motherhood and family life to be. With that said, I wish you a great day, and remember to take care of that little girl. She is waiting for you. She is ready to hold your hand. Now it's up to you to take that responsibility and really take care of her, to be a mother for her. Sending you lots of love. Bye.